Hello, my loves. Happy Monday. So, this is going to be the last week of my lessons. I'll pause while you clap and cheer. um, this is the last week of my lessons, but next week we're going to try something really exciting because it's going to be kind of like the last week of fifth grade. The fifth grade math and science teachers decided that we're going to do a Disney lesson plan. And it's going to be about creating your own Disney theme park and really getting creative. I'm really excited about this. So that's going to be next week. This week is our last week to kind of end everything with a bang. And speaking of that, here are the star students of the week. We have Mikael. No, we don't. That was last week. We have Michael M this week, Loriana, and Isabella L. Very nice job. Notice there are only 3 and not 4. That's because some of our friends are having a really hard time getting all of their lessons in, with the exception of our all-stars, because I noticed a lot of our all-stars are still doing an amazing job. I'm going to start put those all-stars back in there for star of the week because you guys are doing a tremendous job. So our all-stars that we've added: Krasari, Mikael, Andy, and Juzane. Congratulations, you guys are all-stars. Once you're a star, you're always a star. And our star students of the week, guys, keep up the good work. I'm so proud of you. Let me give you a quick yep, let's come over here. Our weekly newsletter and checklist. Here's the newsletter for this week. It's telling you the 3 math grades. As usual, it's the iReady usage, and then you've got the 2 teacher lessons. Lesson 1, analyze patterns and relationship, and lesson 2, it's practice analyzing patterns and relationships. So they're very similar to one another. For science, we're on week 2 of Earth Space Science, Shaping the Earth. And now we're down to 2 Science Studies weekly grades, 24 comprehension questions, and then the crossword puzzle or the multiple choice test. These are your choices. You can, of course, do the misspelled game if you want. And that's great because you're going to get lots of points. But that's not one of your grades. It has to be the crossword puzzle or the multiple choice test. And the reason is because the misspelled game is just about how words are spelled. But the crossword puzzle and then the multiple choice test are about comprehension. They're about how much you understand about the concepts. And that's what's important here. All right, here's reminders. Those portfolios at dojo.me, guys, those are for you. Mom should not be typing in your answers for you. Lunch Bunch today, Lunch Bunch on Thursday at 12 o'clock. And then my Lighthouse team, Daisy, Artem, and Adriana, I need you to meet with me 12 o'clock on Wednesday. So you guys are going to meet with me Wednesday and Thursday. Here's the checklist for my class for this week. Every school day, go to Miss Allison's webpage. Of course, go to Miss Hodges too. Watch the videos and complete the activities. Then go to iReady and Science Studies Weekly for your graded assignments. Your 3 math grades this week: 50 minutes of usage, at least 50, guys. Come on, we need 60 or 75. We're trying to catch up to 6th grade here. Teacher assigned lesson, analyze patterns and relationship. And then teacher assigned lesson, the second one, is practice, analyze patterns and relationships. We're down to those 2 science grades. Notice it says reduced assignment. We're down to 2 grades this week: the 24 comprehension questions and the crossword puzzle or multiple choice test. Notice that misspelled game is crossed out. I'm not giving you a grade for that, but you could still do it for extra points. And then don't forget to go to Ms. Hodges' webpage too. And if you need to catch up on previous weeks, I have last week's newsletter, last week's checklist, and see here on the left all of those are from the previous weeks. Everything's here. I don't delete anything. Now, with that being said, if you are behind, then you'd go right here, Math and Science Lessons, week of May 11th. That was last week's. And when you click on last week's lessons, you have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way through Friday. All the links are there, all the lessons are there. Let's go to this week, May 18th. The week of May 18th. Okay, here we go. Your math lessons. Multiply decimals to find area. And iReady, here are your the names of your lessons. Make sure you get 50 minutes of reading and 50 minutes of math, and then do some extra. Here's your science. We're doing shaping of the earth this week. And here we go. I added for every day this week the PDF. So when you click on that PDF, and this is because Emiliano had such a great idea of opening 2 tabs to help you with your crossword puzzle and your test. Here's the PDF. This is all, right here has all the articles. Look at that. Ah, Ogre Achiever, that's funny. So all of this could be very helpful for you while you're taking your test or you're doing the comprehension questions. All right, let's take a look at what we have here. No, articles. Back to articles. All right. We had an exciting week in the classroom when we were learning about rocks and minerals and things like that. So we're going to do a review of that virtually. And you know me with my rocks, I've got tons of them. So what I think I'll do is maybe do a special lesson where I bring out some of the rocks that you haven't seen. Maybe I showed you my classroom rocks. Maybe I'll show you my home rocks. All right. Here, shaping of the earth, we're talking about how the earth is formed and the different types of rocks, the igneous rock, sedimentary rock, metamorphic rock. Do you guys remember what they are? Igneous. Igneous means fire rock. It's rock formed by fire. Sedimentary rock, it's formed by sediment, by like sand. Sediment, sand. It's, you know, silt and sand and little pieces of broken down rock, pieces of, you know, weathered rock that's been eroded, and they settle. And then after many years, they get compressed and they turn into sedimentary rock. Igneous rock and sedimentary rock can be changed by heat, pressure, and time, and they get turned into metamorphic rock. And at any point in this, those rocks can be melted down again and start over at igneous. All right, let's take a look at what the article says.
Igneous rock. Magma starts it all. Sometimes magma, hot, molten, liquid rock, pushes up to the surface through volcanoes or cracks in the Earth's crust. That super hot, flowing magma will become rock when it cools. Magma that has cooled into rock is igneous rock. Granite is one good example of igneous rock. And while some igneous rock is old, it's still generally the youngest rock out there. What happens to igneous rock as time flies by? Read on. Sedimentary rock.
Okay. So what I saw here, magma that has cooled into rock is igneous rock. I'm going to highlight that. My internet is being so slow today, so reluctant to work. Case of the Mondays. Come on, my friend. There we go. So magma that has cooled into rock is igneous rock. And if we were doing a paper version and we wanted to use that bus strategy, this would be a good example of where we would put a star, right? Because granite is a good example of igneous rock, and we star those examples. But I just put mine in a different color. Let's go on with sedimentary rock. Let me move my little screen guy. There we go.
Igneous rock sure takes a beating on this planet. Water might slowly wear it away. Wind might blow it here and there, bit by bit, or it may be broken up partly by big dramatic forces like earthquakes. Whatever causes it, as igneous rocks break down, the particles they were once made of tend to settle in layers on the Earth's surface, like sand in the bottom of a jar. In fact, in some places, like where a hill has been cut away to make room for a road, you can see the layers made by millions and millions of years of breaking down igneous rock. By this time, the rocks that make up these layers aren't called igneous rocks anymore. They're called sedimentary rocks. Flint, sandstone, and conglomerate rocks are good examples of sedimentary rocks. But even then, the rocky journey's not over. Metamorphic rock.
All right, so in order for sedimentary rock to happen, we need to have that weathering. And that weathering could be in the form of wind. And wind would blow with little pieces of sand, and that would be like sandpaper. So wind would blow it. It could be broken up by earthquakes. We also learned that water can wear it down. Oh, I missed the water, didn't I? Water can wear it down, like in Grand Canyon. Water can also wear it down if water gets inside a little crack and then it freezes. We learned about that. It can actually break the rock apart over time. Things like trees and plants, they can get in those little cracks, and those roots, they're resilient. They're going to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. Those rocks will wear down through all of those. And after all that weathering, then we have erosion, which is where that sediment is washed away and it's settled into a new place. When it settles, it becomes sedimentary rock. We had some examples. Flint, sandstone, and conglomerate rocks are good examples of sedimentary rocks.
Often, tremendous pressure and heat can build up inside the Earth. If an igneous or sedimentary rock is caught in the middle of that heat and pressure, changes occur. Sometimes the changes are so great that a rock becomes an entirely new rock with a new name, metamorphic rock. Here are some examples. Under heat and pressure, granite, an igneous rock, turns into a metamorphic rock called gneiss. How nice! Limestone, a sedimentary rock, might turn to beautiful marble under that same pressure. Back to the beginning.
All right. So once there's pressure and heat, so we've got heat and pressure, the rock becomes a new name. Heat and pressure changes, and we get, oh, come on, there we go. And we get metamorphic rock. Now, some examples. We've got gneiss. Gneiss is an example. Limestone's an example. There are a lot of other, lots and lots of other metamorphic rocks.
To the beginning. Finally, we're almost back where we began. What happens to rock at the end of the rock cycle? It goes back where it came from. That's why they call it a cycle. Sooner or later, usually much, much later, like millions and millions of years later, igneous rock, sedimentary rock, and metamorphic rock make it back underground to be melted into magma again. How does it get down there? Well, sometimes magma will come to the surface and melt even the most solid rock. Of course, after a long time and after a lot of slow movement, most rock that sits on oceanic plates will finally make its way to the edge to be pushed under the continental plate next to it, deep underground, to be superheated and melted again. Eventually, it comes to the surface again and is eroded back into the ocean as sediments. And this happens over and over. See page 4 for all the information you'll need about glaciers.
Well, that seemed like a big jump. I mean, we're talking about rocks and the rock cycle, and then all of a sudden, information about glaciers. Those are giant hunks of ice. What would glaciers have to do with the rock cycle? I wonder. All right, let's answer these questions. What is magma? Cold, hard rocks, pressure and heat, particles of rocks, or hot, molten liquid rock? Yes, underground, but once it hits that surface, we call it lava. Why is it called the rock cycle? Because the rocks move around the world? Because it takes millions of years for rocks to change? The rock will eventually go back to where it came from and become lava once again? Or because erosion creates sediments? It's going to be this one here. Awesome. What's the difference between metamorphic rock and sedimentary rock? Well, luckily, we highlighted that, didn't we? Metamorphic rock, heat and pressure changes that rock. Sedimentary rock is made when, did I not highlight it? I better highlight it. Let's see. Water wears it away. We're talking about the erosion and weathering. As igneous rocks break down, here it is. The particles settle in layers. Let me highlight that. That's what sedimentary rock is. Particles that settle in layers. Metamorphic, heat and pressure changes the rock. So go ahead and read these and let's see if you can find the right answer. All right. Well, you know what? This is the best answer, even though it's not like 100% correct. Because it says metamorphic rock is created from heat and pressure. Yes. Sedimentary rock is igneous rocks being broken down for millions of years. But you know what? Other things can form sedimentary rocks. It's not just an igneous rock breaking down. It could be a metamorphic rock breaking down. And that could be created, that a sedimentary rock can be created from a metamorphic rock. And also a sedimentary rock. It can be broken down and turned into a new sedimentary rock. So sedimentary rocks can be made of any type of rock. Let's look at those bonus sources. I want to show you the rock cycle. Here we go. This rock cycle. So we have the melting of rocks, magma, and when that magma cools, we're going to get some crystallization and then igneous rocks. If they cool very slowly, That's when we get those crystals. And we talked about that. If I gave you guys 2 seconds to line up in a straight line, you're not going to have it. But if I gave you 5 minutes or 10 minutes or give you more time, your particles will line up beautifully, just like in crystallization. Here we have an igneous rock. This would be like you guys having only 2 seconds to line up. You know, it's all mixed up. These igneous rocks can go this direction and be changed under heat and pressure to turn into metamorphic, or they can go in this direction and get eroded. That erosion can lead to sedimentation, and then we get sedimentary rocks. And it can also kind of just go whoop right here. So rocks can settle on top of that and they can be joined together. And then metamorphosis, we've got change from heat and pressure and it turns to metamorphic rock. But you see how these arrows are going all over the place. That's because an igneous rock can turn into sedimentary and an igneous rock can turn into metamorphic. A sedimentary rock can turn into a metamorphic rock. It sure can. And a sedimentary rock can get melted and then turn into an igneous rock. So it's not necessarily like a cycle in that it always has to go back to the beginning, because the sedimentary rock, you know, for millions of years, it can stay as a sedimentary rock. All right, awesome. All right, my loves, I want you to get going on this Earth Space Science, Shaping the Earth. It's week 2 of Earth Space Science, but it's week 21 in the entire Studies Weekly Science unit. Okay, so keep that in mind. Sometimes you'll see Earth Space Science week 2, and in a case like this, you'll see week 21. What does that PDF show? Oh, see, look, Earth Space Science week 2 is what the PDF shows. So just keep that in mind. All right, learn all you can about these rocks, and I'm going to show you in one of my next videos my home rock collection. All right, guys, I love you. I'll see you later. Bye.